Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. My name is Shua, and today I thought I'd make my very first video to share about my experience about the Pochette Metis. I know it's such a popular bag. I watched tons of videos before I bought my first one, and the story behind my interest in the bag was when I first saw my cousin had it. She bought it when it first came out, and I wasn't really interested in it. And then, as I was watching people's video, and then I, started to see that wow, it's actually a very functional bag. It could suit my lifestyle. So, my cousin actually was saying she was not really interested anymore. So I thought I'd buy from her. But when I went to look at it, the bag had issue with glazing. And I knew, through videos and looking at all the different YouTubers talking about how it was giving them glazing issues, and hers was the very first bags that came out. So she wasn't aware of it. I just told her to take it in, so that way it can be taken care of. I knew that they would send it off and repair for free for her, and then I can buy it. It makes it easier instead of me walking in with the bag when she was the original owner and she purchased it. It would just make it easier. But once it came back, she actually wanted to keep the bag, which was fine. She bought it and she enjoys it again, and so I said, okay, that's fine. My husband was like, why don't you just go and buy yourself a new one? So I said, okay. So but I knew it was hard to get one at the time. Well, just even now, it's hard to find one. But when I went into the store, there was one, but it was on hold for somebody else. And the lady had said, hey, you can give me your information. If we get one, I'll call you. So I just thought, okay, I'll leave it, because I knew they were talked about waiting lists and tons of people trying to get a hold of one. So I didn't think anything of it. But the next day, she actually called me and said, hey, we have one. If you'd like it, I'll send it to you. I'll ship it to you. So she took my information, my credit cards, and the next day she shipped it to me. And, I used the bag. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was just practical, functional for me and my lifestyle. And I thought, okay, this is a 2017 bag. It probably won't have those same issues as the earlier ones. But then, so I bought it in 2017 in December. And so a few weeks ago, I noticed that on the flap, it was starting to crack. And I'm thinking, oh goodness, this is a newer model. Why would it happen? So really, I only had the bag for a little over a year. It's like a year and a few months. And so I wanted to take it in and to get that taken care of. I wasn't sure if they were going to have me pay for it or if they were going to do anything about it. Sometimes I hear that they would just tell you it's normal wear and tear, which isn't, because that bag is only, a little over a year old, and I knew that shouldn't happen. So I took it in, and he pulled out a bag for me. This one. So it's the exact same one, an exactly same one, but another Pochette Metis, and I was really surprised they even had it. So when I walked in, they let me talk to the store manager, and I explained to him my situation about my issue, and I let him inspect the bag. And my previous bag, the issue was that these two right here, these two sides, they were starting to crack. Not this one, this is a newer one, but the previous one is where the glazing and the canvas was starting to crack right here, falling, like just falling apart. So same spot, and he just told me that that was something that they had encountered, obviously, and so that it was, something that they just have to keep dealing with. And the manager and I were talking about, hopefully that they can situate everything else, because this bag is quite popular, but at the same time it's giving them a lot of issues with returns or repairs. So he said that he was either going to he could send it in, but they would just tell him that they were just gonna have to replace it for me. So he made it easy. He said, just you can decide if you want to keep this one or not. And so I just thought I'd give it another shot. Since they had one in store, I'll take it. And I looked at the model or the date code, and it had 2019 in January. So it's a newer model. And he even explained to me how the flaps now, how they make it is they'll bend it back and then they will glaze it. That way you don't have the cracking when you're opening and closing. So supposedly that's supposed to have solved the problem. So this is the newer one, and I'm hoping that I don't have any more issues with the second one. If it continues, I think that I'm just going to say goodbye to the Pochette Metis and try maybe the empreinte leather one or a different style. So I just didn't think it would happen to my bag, but you know, the store manager was so kind enough to just replace it with the new one, which I was surprised they had in stock. So thanks for stopping by, and I just thought I'd share my experience with the bag as well.